The undertaking by Police Minister Bheki Cele to bolster the capacity of law enforcement in Diepsloot seems to have calmed tensions there this morning. There was an overwhelming show of police presence in the community late last night after residents were locked in running battles with police. They're angry over crime in the area, and they say government inaction and the influx of illegal migrants, according to residents, has made the situation worse. In one of the latest incidents, 7 people were allegedly murdered in the community this past weekend alone. No arrests have yet been made. My co-anchor Ayanda Nyathi is in Diepsloot and joins us live this morning. Plenty of promises made by Bheki Cele in his address to that community last night, including 16 police vehicles, which should have been on patrol throughout the night and in the coming days as well. Ayanda.
That's certainly the sense we're getting. Good morning to you, Michelle. From the moment we drove into Diepsloot this morning, we were able to spot, and this is no exaggeration, about 4 Inyalas within the space of about 2 minutes. The sense we're getting is that, that promise by Bheki Cele to try and bolster the capacity of officers here may have in one way or the other materialized. In fact, the people we've also been able to speak to who were here late last night speak of some kind of patrol that was taking place within this community in an effort, it appears, to try and identify those who are seen in the community as being illegal migrants. We'll tell you a bit more about that, hopefully, when we catch up with the police to get a sense of whether or not this did take place and what kind of form this operation would actually, materialize in. But you're absolutely right. I mean, the police minister yesterday certainly making all kinds of promises. Initially, when he started speaking to residents here just outside the police station where I'm standing, he made mention of how he was initially told that there were 8 police vehicles who are servicing thousands of people here. He says the confirmation he received is that those vehicles are actually at 6. The figure is at 6. But he is going to make an undertaking to deliver 16 of those vans, as you mentioned. He says 10 are going to come from the national police itself, and 6 of them also coming from the provincial police sector. So let me get you a sense of what else he had to say while speaking to residents yesterday. Take a listen to this.
Friday. Sizobuya no Minister umtolethi okuyena odila ne-issue yama-immigration. Sizozama ukuthola uMinister we-small business ukuthi azokwazi ukukhuluma nani ukuthi niwathola kanjani amathuba lawa ethiwa avinjelwe abantu abangafanele ukuthi benze lawo mathuba. Sikwazi ukuthi sizosebenzisana size nabo bonke abantu be-SARS, size nabantu be-Home Affairs. Umuntu ongenazo impepha zokuba sekhaya lapha angabi sekhaya lapha.
Ayanda, what did Cele have to say about, what residents are describing as part of their everyday lives in Diepsloot? They effectively say they're living in fear in their own homes. They're, those 7 cases of murder that we've been telling our viewers about this morning, many of those incidents happened without any kind of police response insofar as residents is concerned. What was Cele's response to that?
It was interesting to actually see that because the police minister actually made concessions that the officers here can do better. It's also interesting to hear the officers' perspective. Many of them are saying that whilst they want to be able to respond to some of the cries that the community members are highlighting, they're also hamstrung by a lack of things like resources. Again, from our time that we spent here, we've been here for just over an hour or so, it is actually quite difficult to navigate your way, at least through a vehicle, through what actually are narrow streets that are littered with potholes throughout this community. Officers have painted a picture of them struggling to keep up with criminals who are running on their feet because many of the roads are blocked, if not by other vehicles that are stationary on the actual street, but by debris, by some of the sewage, some of the refuse that hasn't been collected for days. It is almost a minefield of just really, like I said earlier on, it tells a story of a community that is really grappling with those long-standing issues, an image of neglect, dare I say, and the police minister certainly conceding that from what he has been able to witness with the short time that he spent here yesterday, a whole lot more can be done. It should come as no surprise, therefore, Michelle, that part of the leaders in this community say that if there is no kind of action, at least from the promises that were made by the police minister, one of that promise, of course, is for him to be back with his counterpart in Home Affairs, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, tomorrow, Friday. If that doesn't happen, they're going to take back to the streets once again. In fact, one of those ward councillors is Julius Maike. He's in charge of Ward 95. Take a listen to what he had to tell us yesterday.
We'll be observing, and we'll also speak to our community that they must remain calm up until we meet with the minister. I can say we are in trust with our minister because of, hence, you can see all over. It shows that whatever that he promised is here.
I mean, obviously, this is a temporary solution, right? Should there commitments or solutions on Friday not be to your satisfaction, what happens thereafter, I wonder?
I trust our minister. I trust our government. But I can remember we were taught that if ever maybe we are not happy over something, we are more than welcome to hit the ground. The Constitution is allowing us to do that. If ever maybe things are not done properly, then no other way but community will hit the ground running.
So calm in Diepsloot on this Thursday morning, at least for now. My co-anchor Ayanda Nyathi, thanks very much indeed for that update. And of course, we'll touch base with you throughout the next few hours of the show.